Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 392.
392.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. So much is happening this year in Orlando, and it looks like Disneyland is about to open as well in late April. So check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel online to book your Disney trip. And they really can assist you. They've been in business for so long now.
And we may be putting them to use very soon ourselves.
We are looking at that, yes.
So we're going to start with A Touch of Disney.
So A Touch of Disney is running at Disney California Adventure. It actually starts on March 18th, although they just had a cast member preview. And I assume this is where the video that we're looking at comes from.
The B-roll that was provided from the Disneyland Resort.
And so it's really a foodie event, but there's distance character.
I love it. Look at that.
There. You have Goofy and Max with
fishing.
This type of thing is really fun. And obviously we've seen, the distance character interactions for almost a year at Walt Disney World, but this is new for Disneyland.
And it looks like Goofy had caught himself a rubber chicken, so very perfect for Goofy. And there is Bandleader Mickey in a perfect setting.
And those are the two character interactions that were different than what we have seen before. We don't see Bandleader Mickey like ever. But then Pluto and Minnie are kind of in their normal costumes.
I know in the press photos that they sent, they also included Joy and Sadness. I don't know if that means they're going to be around, but you would think if they put them in the photos.
Well, I saw a picture of Sadness yesterday that somebody posted.
Oh, okay.
Joy and Sadness would normally not be that close together. They
Right.
put them right together like normal, but that would not be... They wouldn't probably do that in person. They'd have their 6 feet apart.
That's right.
So right now we're looking at some of the food booths, of course, and they have a variety of different food items. And some of them are items that maybe you've seen before, but then some new as well.
Right, and we're about to see some of those food items at the very end. I picked some of the favorite items that I would want if I was there. We're still looking, though, at some of the decor. I think this decor is better than ever. I mean, I think we were at the very last, or you were at the last.
I was there
event.
last. I was there almost
1 year ago.
Yes, I was there almost exactly a year ago, minus a few days. And they had the Food and Wine Festival going on. It was just like a beautiful time. I had a really good trip. I got to go to Lamplight Lounge. I had some potato skins.
Did you try any of the festival items while you were there?
Remember? I don't recall doing that last time. We did the previous year, but
right, we bought the passport and we put it to full use. I remember that.
Yeah, I did some of the regular sit down like Lamplight more than I did anything like that.
And we're used to
hand washing
we're used
stations.
to all the things that we're seeing here, but it's good to see it all in force at Disneyland, and it makes you really feel like they will be opening. Well, we already know by the end of next month they're looking at
April.
opening. Yeah, late April they said. So.
Well, I think they could open April 1st if they chose to, but there's just like Knott's is not opening right away when they can. They have the Taste of Boysenberry Festival going on, and I think they just mentioned May. So we're looking at late April, May for these parks to start really opening with rides and everything. They haven't had rides. There's no rides open for A Touch of Disney, but you get to enjoy the park a little bit.
Well, during the shareholder meeting, Bob Chapek was saying that they really need time to get everybody trained and hired, and there's a lot that goes into opening up a massive two massive theme parks.
Well, I mean, Walt Disney World here was later than Legoland and Universal, by over a month, or about a month after Universal.
So here we go. This is the first of the food items, the half of a Monte Cristo sandwich at Smoke Jumper's Grill. Mobile order only. That was always a favorite of mine.
And the Mickey Mouse pretzel with cheese at Bayside Brews. And, nobody's had probably a Mickey pretzel in a year.
Now, you have to have a corn dog. I mean, I don't know if it's as good as on Main Street, but I assume it's the same corn dog.
At Award Wieners. And the Dole Whip Lemon and Dole Whip Pineapple Soft Serve sold separately at Adorable Snowman Frosted Treats.
Lobster nachos, need I say more, Lamplight Lounge.
You've had them.
Oh, I've had them multiple times. And this, I don't know, they don't really go into detail, but this is a collectible coin here, so that looks like something I'd want.
I miss Lamplight. They have the best potato skins. That's one of my favorite things to get at all at
and the
Disneyland.
Onward popcorn bucket, which you met the Onward characters at Disneyland last year.
I did. They were not there would have been there for maybe, a week or two, and then no more.
So I look forward to seeing how this event goes. But now we're already here at Walt Disney World again, and we're on our way to the Magic Kingdom. We're looking across the lagoon right by the Grand Floridian.
We had not been to the Magic Kingdom. We had not been in over a month, right?
Just
like
about,
since
just
like
about,
Christmas
about,
or something.
No.
Was it not?
It was about 1 month. We were there in February, early February.
Okay, so like the Firehouse, we had not seen that open, even though it's been open since February 12th or so. And then also, we are going back a couple times this month to the Magic Kingdom, including probably tomorrow.
Mickey looks great, by the way.
He does look great, and he has a little different color, almost more of a Christmas color. The last time we saw him, I thought he was in his kind of a Mardi Gras look.
Now, you mentioned Engine Company 71, or you said the Firehouse, which is Engine Company 71, a reference to 1971 when the park opened. This is really, really nice. You could see they've actually put up signs describing what you're going to see.
Well, these are new posters, and I thought that was kind of, again, really nice, and it's been open about a month now. And so it was really nice to get to look around. The patches that you can see are mentioned here have been here for a very long time.
And they never left. Even when Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom came, the patches remained in the background.
And you mentioned to me that right before that it had been a shop. So I don't remember the last time it was just a fire station and nothing else going on.
Well, it was a fire station similar to this, but they didn't have the fire truck. They just had fire displays and things. But it was often not open. And then they opened it up and they put racks of clothes there. I remember when Sorcerers opened, they actually,
right.
At the very beginning, they had some Sorcerer t-shirts and things like that. And or magic bands. They had the shirt that said, "I'm with the band."
Yes.
Remember that and all those things?
I do.
And there's a little reference to Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom. The only reference I could find was that little key.
I hadn't even noticed that. You said to go look for a reference, and I had no idea what you were talking about.
That is what I was talking about. But mostly you see props, and you're looking at the story of the Walt Disney or the Disney World Fire Department.
It's really nice to get to just kind of walk through here. A lot of guests were doing it too, checking out what was in here. And, Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom ran for almost 10 years. I think 9. It was a long time.
It was. Yeah.
We hadn't played it in many, many years.
We were there for the first day of testing.
That's
how far we go back with Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom.
But we didn't really play it much after the first week or so.
Well, once you've done it, we did all the games, and what we would do is the only interest we had was Halloween and Christmas parties. We'd get our collectible card,
and those were the collectible cards. I really enjoyed. They're really fun. So we're looking at a variety of different patches from so many different locations.
Unlike Disneyland, the Disneyland fire station had an apartment that Walt Disney himself used to stay at when he would visit the parks. No such thing here at Walt Disney World, unfortunately.
And that's because Walt Disney World opened before. He went on the mission, or he was there to help find the location, and then he passed away well before Disneyland or Walt Disney World ever opened.
And we have ridden on this fire truck many times. I sure hope it'll be out and about again, but it's nice to be able to see it up close on display here.
Yeah, this is nice. And then there's a pressed penny machine over here. Was this must have been here before, but I don't really
I do
remember.
not recall the pressed penny machine. I don't think it was here because, when you were doing the Sorcerers, they just wanted to get you started on your game and out. So
if it was here, I didn't think much about it. We really just haven't been in here that often since the beginning of Sorcerers, just every so often.
So again, really nice to see Main Street USA come alive. And speaking of Main Street coming alive, we're about to see the horse-drawn carriage, and it's set up more of a spring-like vibe here with the Dapper Dans.
And yeah, I had seen the trolley, and we were waiting. I knew the Dans would be coming out at some point, and I saw the decorations. I was like, I want to see the decorations because I don't know if we'll see them again on our way out.
Right.
And so we waited. We waited like 5 to 10 minutes, and here they came, and it was just nice to see. Usually there's a trolley show for springtime, just like there'd be a trolley show for every other season.
Right, with the citizens of Main Street, which we really, really miss, and my fingers are crossed. It feels like we might be seeing the citizens of Main Street back again. At least I hope so.
You know what? I hope so as well. And a lot of the other entertainment that, we haven't had in the past year or so. But it's nice to have the Dapper Dans. They were not here when the parks reopened last year. It took a couple months or so for them to arrive.
So now we're going to look at more entertainment that is around the Magic Kingdom. I love the country bears, but the country bears are never better than when they're interacting with a cavalcade or some kind of parade going down the street.
I love this. I love to stand across from country bears when anything comes by because they always seem to have so much fun with it.
They're playing the drum, they're doing the horns. I mean, it's just, like you said, it's a lot of fun to watch.
And then, yeah, and I enjoy watching the band go by, but, just watch the country bears. Like, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. And I took a little video, and I don't know if you're showing.
We're going to show it, and we do want to say it's the Main Street Philharmonic that are playing, and they are wonderful. But we're going to see the country bears interact a little bit.
And I
Liver
was just,
lips, look at them.
And I'm just using my iPhone here. Jeff still kind of pointed towards the band, and I'm like, I just wanted to get a little bit more of them playing, the flute and everything.
And shortly after the band came by, we saw Mickey and Friends, and it's impossible for me to not stop.
I know.
And that's a true story. No matter what I'm doing, if I hear that music, I'm going to watch Mickey and Friends come by.
Yeah, it's really, it's really fun to, all of these cavalcades have been really fun. I've got to say, to have, the Halloween, I think, was actually my favorite of all of them. But to get to see, Mickey and Minnie and Pluto.
With no wait, it's quick. I mean, within a minute, it's by and you're done. But you've got to see the characters. You had some music. You had a good time. And you can enjoy the park.
It'll be interesting to see if anything sticks around once everything's a little bit back to normal. Mm-hmm. Will we see distanced characters? Will we see the country bears on top of the country bear jamboree?
And that float is normally used in Move It, Shake It, Dance and Play It, or whatever it's called, the former version.
Well, one of the versions,
yes.
Right?
I think it's probably called something else. I think the last version was probably something else.
It's hard to believe it's been like a year since we've seen the last one.
Right, or the parade. I mean, I love the Festival of Fantasy parade, of course. Of course, I'd rather see the Festival of Fantasy parade, but I do like all these elements. And we hadn't seen Tinkerbell on the treasure chest in a long time.
I had not seen her in months. I thought maybe she wasn't here anymore, but I guess because she wasn't there for Halloween and not there for Christmas, and we usually pop in early in the morning and leave pretty quick, so we don't see most of the cavalcades.
I did see her coming down the street when we were there for the last time. I know you didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
We did not stick around, but this was, it's very nice to see it again.
Yeah, and I don't even remember how many different entertainment offerings there are. I mean, you have the Dapper Dans, you have the Piglet. I call them just the Piglets, but Piglet and Rabbit and Eeyore on the trolley sometimes as well. And then Tinkerbell, and you have the Mickey and Friends and Goofy and Friends. And I think that's a Fantasyland Friends.
Right. And now that float that we're looking at now made its debut at the Pirate and Princess parties. Remember the Pirate and Princess parties?
I only went one time to the Pirate and Princess party. That's so many years ago. That's like 15 years ago now.
It's crazy how long. Is. And we do have a full video up if anybody wanted to see what that parade looked like. Here is Gaston on horseback.
And this is a clip from last month.
That's right. Because we ended up leaving before it fully came down the street. But I knew we had this clip to show because I just thought it would be interesting to show a variety of the entertainment that you could see without any effort. Just by walking around the Magic Kingdom, you can stumble upon all of this. And
I just really have enjoyed, this part of it where they're doing different kinds of character interactions now at some of the parks.
I can't wait till tomorrow to see that. And you're seeing Winnie the Pooh up there, and we're about to see the other Pooh characters that you shot while I was in the firehouse doing the video for the firehouse.
It's always interesting to me how you have Pooh and Tigger here, but not with the other.
Well, they can't be in two places at once, so that's why.
No, but I'm saying Pooh and Tigger, you would think they would be with Eeyore and Rabbit.
You
Piglet.
Can't work them too hard. They'd be very tired. And speaking of, here come the other characters now.
You would find other characters for the float. But anyway, here is Rabbit.
Very spring-like to see Rabbit.
And Piglet. And then Eeyore always seems to...
A little slow, a little sluggish.
Yeah. It's okay. And he's got the little pink ribbon on his tail.
Oh, it matches Piglet there. Maybe that's where it came from.
I don't think so.
So let's talk about Tron. We saw Tron from many vantages as usual, and it is progressing.
So, Tron Light Cycle Run was originally scheduled to kind of be one of the highlights of the beginning of Walt Disney World's 50th later this year. But we don't know when it's going to open. It's,
It's
maybe next year
definitely
or
not
something.
opening for the actual 50th. We know that.
But it's nice to see, the canopy is still progressing.
Well, I think that's what they want. They want to at least get the exterior totally finished, get the canopy done, and then when they have time, they can work on the inside.
And right here we are at the Storybook Circus area. My favorite location, though, is from the Astro Orbiter, because you get a fantastic view of that area of Tomorrowland, including the Huehue People Mover, which is not yet reopened.
I am very thankful for TRON because of TRON, we've ridden the Astro Orbiter more than ever.
We have, and it's actually a ride I loved as a kid, and I still enjoy it. It wasn't called Astro Orbiter back then; it was called like Starjets.
Starjets, yeah.
And then also the Tomorrowland Speedway I enjoy, so it was nice to do that. And there is. Now I'm getting dizzy again. Now, there is, you can see TRON over there, and the canopy looks like I get great photos from up here.
Speaking of that, we're going to see Denise Hart at work getting those great photos. Look at this. That's a tradition.
But I enjoy the ride. It's a fun, it's a fun ride. And
it's the best view. I mean, this is such a perfect view of the canopy right now.
And in the morning, if you want to do Astro Orbiter, the best time really is just to hit it first. As soon as the park opens.
We rope dropped it. And we were concerned because we were about 15 minutes later than we wanted to be.
We didn't totally rope drop it. We were about 15 minutes later.
Yes, our rope dropping.
Because we were getting, the Dapper Dans. And we waited for them. And it wasn't too bad, but then the line gets longer and longer because they don't take so many guests up.
That's right. Every party gets their own elevator. And even in normal circumstance, it's still very slow having to go up and down the elevators.
Because there's not very many rockets.
Right,
so,
that's right.
But anyway, first thing in the morning, if you want to ride, you can see People Mover there. I'm looking forward to the People Mover returning, but they keep changing it, next month.
And look at the comparison. I just showed you the same angle from a little bit lower. It's starting to look very, very much like the concept art, just to give an idea of what it's going to be.
Tomorrowland's going to look really interesting, and I can't wait for the Walt Disney World Railroad also to start up again.
Oh, I missed that. Yes.
I don't even know. It's been closed at least a couple of years now.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice when everything's really up and running. And we here are on the Tomorrowland Speedway. When I was a kid, it was also a favorite attraction of mine, though it was called, what was it called back then? The Grand Prix.
Grand Prix, and it had been called many different things, sponsored by Goodyear at the beginning.
I think back then it was Grand Prix, and we're riding past the TRON canopy here. There's just so many great angles.
Look at that. That is a great angle.
From various areas that look completely different from each other. So it's really fun to see that work taking shape, and I enjoy being on. I do enjoy still that even though I can drive a car, I enjoy the Tomorrowland Speedway.
And I remember it was the Indy Speedway for a number of years as well. So many different versions.
So and all fun.
Yes.
So here is Bonjour Village Gifts. It's going to be reopening on March 22nd. And it's going to have some of the Art of Disney items from the Main Street Cinema. The Main Street Cinema is going to be, the Main Street Confectionery is going to be closing for a refurb on March 29th. And then the cinema will go down just for a little bit. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on. The confectionery is going to close.
And you see quite the line, by the way, to get into Gaston's Tavern. And this line here going all the way around the mountain is for the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Yes, and spring break is pretty busy. It wasn't so bad. We were here for a few hours, and we were able to walk around just fine. The lines were long for many attractions, but the pathways were pretty clear almost everywhere we went in the park. And we thought we might only be here for like an hour, and it ended up we were here for about 3.
Yeah, it was much better expected. Right before I guess you could say the calm before the big rush of spring break. I even had a chance to look at the mural inside here. Never have a chance to do that because it's always so crowded in there.
I will say, I think that the two parks, Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom, because they're always busier than the other two parks, it won't be too bad when we go tomorrow, hopefully.
And we also noticed that the castle stage was having some work done, probably to get ready for the 50th anniversary celebration.
Right. I think it's been under refurbishment maybe for a couple of weeks or so while we haven't been here. So, we'll see what it looks like soon.
And here is a view from the front. Again, you can see there's work being done. And now we're going to look at the castle a little bit. We shot this the day before, they had added some of the 50th anniversary pieces to the castle. So here is the before shot. We're going to look at some little video concept art here of what the castle will look like when it's totally finished.
Well, they're going to have those adornments, which there was just one that was put on the day after we were there, and then more have been put on since. And of course, you see that 50th anniversary logo on the front of the castle. So I think it will look really nice. Plus, it's going to be one of the 4 beacons of magic, where they're going to have like lighting at night.
Yeah, it seems every day since they've had little bits added. So it'll be very interesting going to the Magic Kingdom to see more and more. Again, this was just the very first piece, but since then there's at least 2 or 3 more pieces up.
Yeah, and so tomorrow we'll see that. I will like it a lot better than the 25th anniversary castle.
Oh, the Cakesel? You were not a fan of the Cakesel?
No, I wasn't a fan of that.
Now this I found very interesting. The Peter Pan's Flight entrance has now moved way back over into Liberty Square, and it actually goes right through the Columbia Harbor House, through the restaurant, which of course is not being used at this time.
Well, they have used this area for queuing before. I don't remember it saying like entrance. But they have used it definitely as a queue when it gets, when it gets busier. And right now it's busier.
So now we're in Adventureland at the Sunshine Tree Terrace, the home of the Orange Bird. And there's been a new addition to one of the walls here. And we're going to take you for a walk and show what I'm talking about.
The line wasn't too bad, I think, on this day for the actual, well, not for the wall either, but for,
for the wall.
For
there was no line, zero line
for the
wall.
I was actually surprised because, the Instagrammable walls are so popular now.
This is really cute, though. I like this art a lot.
I thought it would be a little bigger, but it's really, it's adorable. And so took some photos and video of it. You got the orange bird with, I guess, a Dole Whip. It looks more like a Dole Whip, but I was going to say a citrus swirl.
You know what? The Orange Bird has good taste. Both of those are excellent options for me. And, if you like Orange Bird, there's plenty of Orange Bird merchandise available over at Epcot for the Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
That is true.
So here we are on our way out. On our way back to the Polynesian Village Resort, we had breakfast over there. We had some Tonga toast this morning, but I don't think I took any video of that, so that we're not seeing it. But I did take some video of the monorail station, and it's still being reconstructed here.
So the Disney's Polynesian Village Resort is undergoing quite a few changes. One of them is the monorail platform, also the front entrance, and also the rooms that are going to be Moana themed. So there's quite a lot going on here. It doesn't really, you don't hear a lot of noise or anything, so it doesn't really affect guests except they can't take the monorail and such. But this summer is when it's supposed to fully open.
And here we are over at Gaylord Palms.
Yep, moving over to Gaylord Palms, where the spring season just began this past weekend. We were invited for the weekend to cover Once Upon a Spring at Gaylord Palms. I'm looking at all those activities. We did about half of that. There's so much to see here. Gaylord Palms does a lot of seasonal events right now. They started out with ice and the, Christmas at Gaylord Palms, and they've really become almost like a little theme park within their resort.
That is a great description. I like that a lot. Let's talk about augmented reality here.
So they have this thing that they were adding in July when we had stayed after the reopening, Wildlife Rescue Adventure, and it's an app, and it isn't, I don't think it's just like Gaylord Palms, but it's a location that you can do this, and it looks really fun.
It's
we
so
didn't
cool.
even do that, and so we watched Matt as he did.
Oh yeah, well he did a number of them in our presence, so I got to experience it that way. And we're looking at the scavenger hunt now for the bunnies.
So Gaylord Palms, every season has a scavenger hunt, and it's really fun to kind of look around and just like in this case we're looking for bunnies, and then it's $9.99, and then at the end you receive like a little prize, which in this case we will show it. It was like candy, and it's a cute way to get an idea of the resort. The resort is really big. The 4.5 acres is how big the atrium is, and so you're going through the whole atrium and just getting a feel for it while you do it.
And here is a look at the scavenger hunt guide, Blossomin' Bunnies.
And so we're at Gator Springs, presented by Wild Florida, and they've had alligators in the atrium for as long as I can remember. And also turtles. There's turtles. And it was funny because during the day, they just kind of sit here and sun themselves. And in this case, they're on a rock. But when we arrived in the evening to look at them...
They're all in the water,
They're all in the water. And it's like, why is it that they're in the water
was so interesting.
in the evening? I actually didn't know that that's what they do. I've never really thought about it.
So now we're going to talk about Crystal River Rapids, which we're looking at right now.
This is the new addition to Cypress Springs Water Park. And it's sort of like if you've been to SeaWorld, and I didn't go in, but you would say kind of like Roa's Rapids, but less at SeaWorld.
Yeah, it's not as intense, but it certainly can move you along. I have to tell you, I was given a very short time to go through this attraction before it opened to the public, so I did not have a life vest on, so I had more control to do the video. But I watched the guests that were wearing the life vest, and they were kind of going really fast. And I show some of that later on, so it certainly will have a kick at certain places.
I mean, we'll eventually ride it as guests. It looks really fun. I love Roa's Rapids is my personal favorite water ride anywhere, and so it looked
You're going to
really
love
fun.
this. And the water was delightfully warm. It was perfect. You're going to love it.
I will say that for the resort fee that Gaylord Palms charges, the fact that they have so many water attractions now, it really is, like if you look at the Gaylord Palms Twitter now, they will say Gaylord Palms Resort and Water Park, because you not only have this, you have these huge water slides, you have a multi-level play area.
Flow rider, too.
Yeah, the flow rider, which is an additional fee. You have what used to be an adult pool, which I guess is just a pool, but more of a quiet pool. There is so much going on here at Cypress Springs Water Park. So, there wouldn't be a reason to go to another water park necessarily unless you just really want to go to Blizzard Beach. But which is a terrific water park as well. But you can see they have these huge water slides. And
where the floor drops out, you just go down.
I don't do water slides. I totally don't do that water slide. But you enjoyed it, right?
I loved it. Yes, I did all of this throughout many different visits. And of course, I was the first guests ever to enter this area. So it was very exciting.
And Matt was second.
And it was his fault because he told me, go ahead. So this will remind you of Roa's Rapids, where you can kind of go, see how I'm going right underneath these little spray waterfalls there. And you see all of a sudden I picked up some speed. Certain parts you really can pick up some speed, especially if you're floating.
We have worked with Gaylord Palms for 11 years now, and I remember when Cypress Springs Water Park opened, and that was a big deal, and it's expanded a couple times since then, and this is part of, I think it's the largest expansion ever. They're going to have 302 new guest rooms, and I know they were doing a larger area for people to play in and such. I don't know if they did that or not. I didn't really notice.
Yeah, I don't know about that yet either.
So,
we'll have to find out.
Right, like how they do the football, like when everybody's out there. I forget what you call it. The lawn, like a large lawn. But this is such a fantastic area, and I prefer the rapidy type water to
just a lazy river.
Yeah,
right.
I like lazy rivers, but especially when I see waterfalls coming, I don't want to be stuck under them.
And you'll like this because you have control. See how they left the right side without the waterfall? So the first time I went through, I stayed completely dry. The second time, which you're going to see now, I purposely went right through the waterfall just in case the lens had a drop on it or something. But I wanted to show that you can go right through this, and it's very refreshing on a hot day.
I just think it's a terrific addition. And also, you see, they do have cabanas for rent. There's also these patio cushion chairs that guests can rent as well, but you don't have to.
Right, you could just pull up a chair and relax.
Yeah, and I was told they were seating for 254 guests, which is very helpful because, again, spring break, not only here at Gaylord Palms, but all over Central Florida and really all over Florida.
So now you can see what I'm talking about with those vests, and you're not standing. You can really kind of go along with the rapids there.
It looks really fun, and you can see that platform there with the slide as well in the background. It's right next to what was open as Cypress Springs Water Park until now.
Yeah, this area used to be a parking lot. We used to park here, right
That's
where this
so
waterfall
weird.
is.
It's so weird to think
we would
about
park.
that.
So it's amazing the expansion. Wait till this other wing opens. As you said, it's just growing and growing over there.
And there are 2 spas, and they looked very inviting. We were not really in any of the water except for you taking the video on this day. But you can see spa hours say 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. I was surprised to see 7 a.m. I don't know if that's actually the case or not. I thought that the Cypress Springs Water Park opens at like 8 or 9.
Right, I guess it all depends.
Yeah.
Maybe and this area could open at a different time. I don't know, though.
I don't know.
We'll have
I will
to
find out.
But it does look very inviting, and especially with nobody in there, I should have jumped right in.
During a not busy time, I would be probably in there for like an hour.
Yeah, I was so focused on getting all these videos
shots,
done and all this, so I was totally focused.
And there is Crystal River Refreshments. So they have, so over in the Cypress Springs Water Park area, the rest of it, there's the sandbar, and then this is a bar, and I guess they will serve you food as well to your chair if you order it.
So we're about to take a look at as you mentioned, the rest of the water park here.
It is really big.
Yeah, look at how big. There's so much. And there's all those slides we mentioned, and there's, a kid area in the background, flow rider to the left, so much.
And then, I'm just looking at the slides, and it's like, again, you've been on
I've been on every one of them, and this is one of your favorite parts.
This is my favorite area because it's just quiet,
And there you are, dining at the sandbar.
Yeah, with Matt and Jackie.
Actually,
that
you're
was
having
very nice.
an adult beverage, I bet, at that time.
I did. Well, we had lunch, yes.
Paint me a fairy tale. Why don't you describe what we're looking at here?
Gaylord Palms, with each season, they also have a storytelling show. And so this would cost normally $16.99 per person, or it's part of their spring package. And what's really wonderful about Gaylord Palms is how much talent they have here. They always have the most talented performers, some of the most talented from the area.
It was very, very popular. I mean, it was a sold-out show at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, and I think a lot of guests, probably get that springtime package. And then we did not receive this artwork.
Fine artwork.
Matt and Jackie received this artwork.
Those are our friends from Attractions Magazine.
Yeah, so I thought this was just a fun little area. And they have a bar here, but the bar was not open yet. An art bar.
And his name... Can you guess what his name is?
Art.
Art. Perfect. and
then,
here are some of those drinks from the art bar.
Yeah, these looked so good. They did the Pirate Outpost Invasion. They had what is it called?
A speakeasy, perhaps?
Yes, and they crafted these most amazing drinks. And the bar just wasn't open. It opened at 6, and we saw the 5 o'clock show, which was done a little while before that.
And this is the beautiful view from our room, looking out at the atrium, and you can see the light show they have is Easter and spring themed.
They do light shows really all year round now.
It used to only be for Christmas.
And we saw the pirate one more time during this
weekend.
Yes,
we were fortunate. We saw the two different ones in one visit.
Yeah, they were switching over, I think, from pirate to springtime. And so you see like little bunnies and all that. They don't do music with these. During Christmas, they have music. I don't know if they have music for any of the other shows.
They did not have music for the pirate one.
Right,
I can tell you.
But it's still fun to watch. And, there are things that you didn't even show, like the Expression Garden, which had all those Easter eggs. And also, they landscape. They had, like, tulips and other flowers and such. I mean, it's just beautifully landscaped in the atrium.
It was a wonderful stay. I always have an awesome time at Gaylord Palms.
It's a beautiful resort, and it's so close to Disney.
That is another show.
That's another show, thanks to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Check them out if you want to stay at Gaylord Palms or stay at Walt Disney World, or if you're getting ready to go to Disneyland. I'm sure they'll be announcing that very soon.
And Disney cruises, I hope they get started pretty soon.
Well, by later this year, maybe. So it's really kind of an exciting time. We just got our first vaccine.
That's right. We're so happy.
I am happy. So we did that last week, and then our next one is early next month. And then after that, I think maybe once a month we'll do indoor dining until we feel comfortable to do it a little bit more, so we can do some, food reviews that we've not done in a while.
But it's great to see so many people getting their vaccines, so many friends and other people in the Disney community.
Yeah, it's really great. It makes me feel like I think we're going to Beer Garden.
I can't wait.
Later next
Beer
month.
Garden has our name on it. So this week we already have plans. We're going to Epcot. We're going to the Magic Kingdom. We're probably going to do a resort over the weekend.
To finish up a photo walk, so we're not staying at a resort next weekend.
Right, yes.
And so that's about it. We're really kind of laying low for the next few weeks, but we're out, we'll probably be out a day or a day and a half per week.
So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week. We'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.